Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Winter Soldier, issue number 5 of 5. We're finishing this book out in this particular issue. Depending on where exactly they were trying to go with it, not even just where they were trying to go with this, what their end goal actually was, would determine whether or not this book was successful in doing that. And I mean this 5-issue run. We'll get into that in a hot minute. First, credit where it's due. So we got Kyle Higgins on writing duties. Artist is Rod Reese. He also does the covers. And the letterer is VC's Clayton Cowles. Bucky Barnes was created by Jack freaking Kirby. And Joe Simon was there too. Basically, you got this little kid, RJ. Bucky just accidentally murdered his father in the previous issue. I guess it would be considered manslaughter, second-degree murder. And what do you call it? But, Richie wasn't a good person. So, I don't know, it is what it is. And it sucks. It sucks, but it would have been nice if proof were gathered first. There were mistakes made, okay? Bucky Barnes made a lot of mistakes. For a guy who's supposed to be like the most efficient assassin out there, sans Elektra and whatnot, like this guy who's just comes out of nowhere, Winter Soldier, just boom, nobody knows what to expect until you get a bullet between your eyes. Yeah, this guy wasn't very effective, was he? I understand he let his emotions get to him, and it is what it is, but I don't know, man. Richie, in the meantime, you just basically see this kid waiting for his dad. Kind of reminds me of the Faster Pussycat song, House of Pain. Really, really good song. Like one of the best songs ever. In my opinion, their best song. And it's an 80s ballad. What do you expect? But it was one of the earlier ones. Anyhow, so, this poor schlup. He's waiting for his dad, and then the can't remember the guy's name, but that blonde-haired goof who trained and tortured and trained RJ. He comes along and he shows proof that Bucky killed his dad. Sharon Carter, meanwhile, tries to console Bucky and also smacks him around a little bit, not physically but mentally, verbally, and says, "Are you really trying to dig a hole to bury RJ's dad? Really? Is that what you're trying to do here? You don't think that you should tell him? Just going to let him try and go out on a mission of revenge, and eventually he's going to figure out it was you. Like, are you really that dumb?" So Bucky decides, okay, I got to go and tell him. I got to see what's up. I mean, this guy's not going to get persecuted by any law. I can't imagine. It's one of those situations where it's not necessarily S.H.I.E.L.D., but whoever Carter is working for, she's not going to let him go away for this, So the only thing that he was afraid of dealing with was Richie. He was afraid of seeing that look on his face and whatnot. He's not even afraid of Richie. Winter Soldier, Bucky just took the worst wimpy way out of this. RJ's trying to ignore him and just walk away. He's like, you don't want to talk about this. He's like, no, I do want to talk about this. So he starts beating the crap out of Bucky, throws him down a set of stairs, just straddles him, just, ground and pound, beating the crap out of him. I was like, fight back. He's like, we're not going to make this easier for you. If you want to kill me, then just go ahead and kill me. I deserve it. It's like, did you really? Really? Were we trying to get a Captain America 2 Winter Soldier moment out of this? It was going to be like, I'm with you to the end of the line. That didn't happen. Thank God. But this just didn't... I can see why a lot of people would enjoy this. I do know a lot of guys reading this were like, this was actually really good. I'm glad that you liked it. Me, personally, it didn't fully work for me. I got it. I didn't shed a tear. I didn't get misty-eyed or anything like that. And I'm a big puss, you know what I'm saying? I get emotional, you know what I'm saying? And, if it's a really good emotional story, if you kill a dog, something like that, you know what I'm saying? The typical, the average, I start crying, you know what I'm saying? But man, it's messed up. I have to wait a couple minutes before I do this review. Because, for reals, But this was just more like Bucky just screwed up, and this... If the purpose of this 5-issue limited series was to show that RJ is, to introduce RJ, this new character who's like a mini Bucky out in the world, and he's just this loose cannon. You never know. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he an anti-hero? What is he? Okay, mission accomplished. But if you were trying to show a really heartwarming story, or a story of redemption, or a story, anything else, while I can't call this a failure, I sure as hell would not call this a success. Really? Kid was sick, now I get sick? Is that really how it works? Homunculi. Anyway, so, yeah, dude, I felt that this comic book could have been a lot better. Make no mistake, Rod Reis is the freaking superstar here. Dude, literally, like, everything that I pray for in an artist. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can sit there and say, oh, well, the art isn't really up to my taste. That's cool, baby, that's cool. But for a guy to do the pencils, the inks, the colors, and the cover, that's my big thing. If you're the penciler on a comic book and you don't do the cover, you don't at least do the main cover, I got a problem. Not necessarily with the artist, maybe it's Marvel I got a problem with, but I got a problem because I want the book to represent, I want the cover to represent what I'm going to get inside the book. Rod Reis literally is the representation of the entirety of this book, sans the bulk of the story. I can't put, I'm not trying to put anything down on Kyle Higgins. Kyle Higgins is a freaking awesome writer, and I don't know what the story is behind this. Did he come up and say, hey man, check this out, I got this great idea for a story? If that was the case, maybe you could have made it a little bit greater. But if it was one of those situations where Marvel reaches out, it's like, hey man, we really want you to, we want to introduce this new character. Would you be willing to write the story? Well, then that's just totally on Marvel, and Kyle Higgins is just, he sure as hell didn't just do this for a paycheck. He put some effort into this. This was good. You know what I'm saying? This, like I said, this isn't bad. It's just, it's not great. And a Winter Soldier story to me should be great, especially coming off of the Marvel 2-in-1 that we just had recently. Marvel 2-in-1, or no, that was with the Thing, the Marvel team-up. You know what I'm saying? It had Hawkeye, which was more annoying than anything else. The return of Natasha Romanova, Black Widow, and Bucky was it. And Bucky was a damn superstar in that, except for the couple parts where it's like, oh no, gee, his arm got broken again, which happened in this issue, not in this issue, in the first issue or the second issue, whatever, happened in this comic book run also. Literally, it's like it was a checklist of cool things. So, like I said, the comic book wasn't bad because, it hit all the checklists. But this was not by any means great. And I just don't see why it couldn't have been. Adding a new character to the Marvel Universe is not called innovation. It's adding a new character to the Marvel Universe. Adding another character to the sandbox. But to make a really good story, I'm going to need something more than, oh, this guy who's supposed to be really competent just did something really stupid and then didn't want to face up to it, didn't want to fess up to it. Yeah, you remember how sad we felt? Like, I'm sorry, in Captain America Civil War, Tony Stark was the bad guy. And you could sit there and argue, but he killed his mom. He called him the Manchurian Candidate just 2 minutes before he found out that Bucky's the one who actually killed his mom. And his dad. Just 2 minutes before. That shows he knows. He was mind controlled. There was a comment in here about, lack of mind control. Oh, you don't have mind control to hide behind. So that was actually good. Run with that one. And then have Bucky just, full-on confessional. I hate partially explained story. And make no mistake, in real life, I'm bad at giving explanations also. If I do something bad, I'm more about just getting introspective with it and just being like, man, I screwed up big time. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to trying to explain, so I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I did those wrong, whatever. Like, I'm not great at doing that. I'll just be like, yeah, I screwed up. What's your excuse? I'm not going to give you an excuse. I screwed up. That's something that was beaten into me in the military. I make no excuse. I screwed up. That works great in the military. Doesn't work really great in real life where people want to sit there and assign blame and hold grudges. Oh, well. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I can get over it and live with myself. But in a comic book, even if you're going to get introspective, if I was in a comic book, you'd at least have my internal dialogue. It would be something like, Frank Lynch, David Lynch's Dune. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, you got the internal dialogue. Dune, desert planet, Arrakis. You know what's inside this person's head. I don't know what's inside of Bucky's head because there wasn't a whole lot of thought bubbles in this, was there? Notice that? So, yeah, good comic book. That should have been great. This should have been a memorable story, and it just wasn't. I had the feeling, but I didn't want to prejudge around issue 3. And yeah, I hate being right about things like that. Anyway, guys, that's just how I feel. My personal interpretation of it, it should have been a lot better. It had everything available to be better. And I don't know why it wasn't. It's hard to just sit here and blame anybody for this because I don't know the internal workings behind what's going on. I'm just some jackass on the internet giving you my opinion of a comic book. That's it. I don't know the behind the scenes. I'd love to. I'd love to know where this, in my opinion, went wrong. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.